You had some bad people that were not patriots at all, and they came from other places, including Antifa.
Antifa were there.
James Regan, your councillor. Do you think your councillor James Regan incited someone by
protecting that mob?
The concept of having an abortion in the later months and even execution after birth, and that's exactly what it is. The baby is born, the baby is executed after birth.
Utterly ludicrous that we can allow abortion up to 24 weeks.
We want it where the women over there don't have to wear the you-know-what.
Get rid of these coverings, which are intimidating, which are a security risk for our police force. We don't know who's underneath those coverings.
I hear these people talking about global warming. That's the global warming you have to worry about, not that the ocean's going to rise in 400 years an eighth of an inch, and you'll have more seafront property, right, if that happens.
We are irrelevant. If climate change is a problem, I'll tell you what, we're not even a part of it. Look at the numbers.
So how did climate change happen before man-made CO2?
We're slashing unnecessary regulations that targeted the beautiful clean coal.
There's coal, specific types of coal for certain uses that we still need in this country, and we certainly will need for the blast furnaces here, that we should produce ourselves rather than importing.
Unelected deep state operatives who defy the voters to push their own secret agendas are truly a threat to democracy itself.
Because it'll wake middle America up to just how totally corrupt everything in the deep state, and in particular their own judiciary.
My administration has taken action to abolish all discriminatory diversity, equity, and inclusion nonsense.
When I was over there for the inauguration and heard him speak, I thought what he said was incredible. Have a look at him on Fox News just yesterday.
What's happening with DEI? How's that going at the Defense Department?
Well, DEI is not going well at the Defense Department because it's dead.
A growing number of federal judges are issuing warnings that the Trump administration's mass deportations could expand to include U.S. citizens.
And we will begin the process of returning millions and millions of criminal aliens back to the places from which they came.
We will appoint, we will demand, this government does the same, that there is a minister for deportations.
Mass deportations of illegal migrants and foreign criminals must be our ultimate policy objective.
My life was saved for a reason. I was saved by God to make America great again.
Whenever Donald Trump makes a comment that is ridiculed, it always turns out to be true. I refer that to the cats and dogs. And I find your line of attacking those who believe that there are sometimes divine interventions, that actually there are people out there that believe in God and believe that sometimes they get spared. I find that line of yours very cynical.
With the Department of Government Efficiency, Elon's delivered a colossal change in the old ways of doing business in Washington. Doge has installed geniuses with an engineering mindset. And
We'd probably need a Doge for every single county council in England.
Like
just
Elon Musk's
looking.
slashing bureau.
Yeah.
A star is born, Elon.
He may well give us money. Whether he does or not, I'll tell you what he gives us. With huge numbers of young people, he makes us look cool.
Is the reason you hope he's going to give you money, is that why you don't want to criticise him?
I think I've made it perfectly clear that I don't agree with everything he stands for, but I do believe in free speech. I think he's a hero, and I said that well before any potential money was offered.
We're putting up a beautiful, almost 100-foot tall American flag.
The Reform Party will be controlling pride flags, trans flags, Black Lives Matter flags. Why does that matter to the Reform Party?
It matters because the flag that we should be flying is the British flag.
We'll also sign an executive order to immediately stop all government censorship and bring back free speech to America.
Tell me, am I wrong? Is this a genuine suppression of free speech? Give me your thoughts.
How many little girls have been maimed and raped and killed by the illegal aliens that they let into our country?
I've pushed the government to undertake a review into the impact on British women and girls of crime emanating from these hotels.
All we're doing is protecting children and saying we will not stand for our 13 and 14-year-old girls in uniform to be sexually harassed and abused.
Yeah.
But 17 million Americans will have their health care cut from this bill.
And I think we're going to have to move to an insurance-based system of health care.
Hunter looks back and he says, every single crime that you've ever committed, Dad.
We have Hunter Biden, the drug-addled Hunter Biden, earning billions from Russia, China, Ukraine, and no one raises an eyebrow.
You know, what is the first truly Islamist country that will get a nuclear weapon? And we were like, maybe it's Iran, you know, maybe Pakistan already kind of counts. And then we sort of finally decided maybe it's actually the UK, since Labour just took over.
Islam is the faith in Great Britain, and it leads, and Christianity, the Church of England, isn't taken seriously anymore, and it's extremely disturbing.
So this is January 6th. These are the hostages. Approximately 1,500 for a pardon.
Yes.
Full pardon.
Is that the same mob we saw in action at the Capitol in Washington a few years ago?
No, that was a sort of ramshackle gathering of people from all across different walks of life.
You think that Sadiq Khan is a stone-cold loser. Thank you.
You're talking about the Mayor of London.
He is a stone-cold loser who should focus on crime in London, not me. Khan reminds me very much of our very dumb and incompetent Mayor of NYC, de Blasio, who's also done a terrible job, only half his height.
Sadiq Khan can say what he likes. You know, he's now telling us there's a new town centre crime crackdown. I think we're living in lawless London, and I think one of the reasons people are fleeing our city is not just tax, it's fear of crime.
He's an incompetent governor. Look at the job he's doing in California. He's destroying one of our great states. And if I didn't get involved, if we didn't bring the Guard in, and we would bring more in if we needed it, because we have to make sure there's going to be law and order.
We will appeal it, and we will win it, because over and over again, when our ICE officers are out there getting the worst of the worst off of our streets.
We will take back control of our streets. We will take back control of our courts, of our prisons.
I've just had enough of hearing about daily muggings, daily stubbings. I've had enough of seeing gangs roam my streets in balaclavas, terrifying my children. And I've had enough of hearing that foreign rapists' human rights mean more than ours.
It will henceforth be the official policy of the United States government that there are only two genders, male and female.
Barbie doll have announced their first transgender doll.
London doesn't feel fully English to me anymore.
And so many people are like, oh my God, we've heard about what's going on in London or in the UK. Are you guys okay?
Said that he fails to see London anymore as being an English city. So
do you agree with that, Mr. Roach?
Well, in parts of London, I do, yes.
Donald J. Trump is calling for a total and complete shutdown of Muslims entering the United States.
But, Mr. Khan, if you're worried about racism, if you're worried about discrimination, what about what's being said to Jews in London, the city that you're the mayor of? What about those scenes in Parliament Square last week? I'm waiting to hear you say something.
And they say the noise causes cancer. You told me that one, okay? You know, the thing makes it so... And, of course, it's like a graveyard for birds. If you love birds, you'd never want to walk under a windmill.
When I've talked about Net Stupid Zero, I wrote yesterday to the 8 largest potential bidders for huge offshore wind farms. They're going to bid for them this August. And I said, just put you on notice that we're leading in the polls. If we win the next general election, then you invest at your peril.
A national energy emergency. We will drill, baby, drill.
The slogan, Drill Scotland Drill, is it not the case that that will just make oil and gas companies even wealthier? Will your policies actually help ordinary people?
Jobs, jobs, jobs. Yesterday, reporters asked me if I thought President Putin was smart. I said, of course he's smart, to which I was greeted with, oh, that's such a terrible thing to say.
Which current world leader do you most admire? As an operator, I would say Putin.
Yes.
I know nothing about QAnon.
I just told you.
I know very little. You told me, but what you tell me doesn't necessarily make it fact. I hate to say that. I know nothing about it. I do know they are very much against pedophilia. They fight it very hard. He may be
Why not
right.
just say it's crazy and not true?
He may be right. I just don't know about QAnon.
You do know.
I don't know. No, I don't know.
I don't know.
Whether it's Dems or Anons, we'll still be posting about Q, which is a conspiracy theory, and tying it all into Reform UK anyway.
Let's pray together, may we?
Yes.
Perhaps most concerningly, I look to our very dear friends, the United Kingdom, where the backslide away from conscience rights has placed the basic liberties of religious Britons in particular in the crosshairs.
Because they hate Christianity. They can't, I mean, they deny absolutely our Judeo-Christian culture, which, if you think about it, actually are the roots completely of our nations and our civilization. They deny that.
A mega prison in El Salvador has become the latest tool in President Donald Trump's crackdown on immigration, as hundreds of migrants facing deportation are being transferred there.
Saying that no district court has the power to compel the foreign policy function of the United States. As Pam said, the ruling solely stated that if this individual, at El Salvador's sole discretion, was sent back to our country, that we could deport him a second time.
Yes, and if that means that Ian Huntley goes to El Salvador, well, our attitude is so be it.
There's a growing sense among Americans I speak to back in America that there's a two-tiered system of justice here. And
I promise you there is a strong feeling and perception of two-tier policing and two-tier justice in this country.
Well, Trump told the New York Post not only does he want to get rid of congestion pricing, he also wants to get rid of bike lanes.
The right thing to do is not only to scrap the extension plan, but also scrap the existing ULEZ. It is an absolute disaster, and be clear, it's a tax on the poor.
Kakistocracy.
Okay.
I've never heard of it before. What it means, it's a Greek word meaning government by the incompetent.
That the cabinet must all be politicians in the House of Commons. Why? Why? It's nonsense. Look at America.
Once and for all, we are getting rid of woke.
You also send us bad things, because you send us woke. But you know what? We've got you back, because we've sent you Prince Harry in return, all right?
He had previously shown support for Reform UK until a disagreement with Farage over his views on Tommy Robinson. Elon then responded by saying Farage doesn't have what it takes. On the same day, Musk said this about Rupert Lowe. I have not met Rupert Lowe, but his statements online that I have read so far make a lot of sense.
We have been shown the way by one Donald John Trump.
Did Donald Trump help get the travel ban lifted?
I said for a lot of young men, he'd become a significant figure, which is something that should worry you and worry everybody.
And what you're doing is very disrespectful to the country, this country.
Do you know what? If I turned up at the White House, I'd make sure I was wearing a suit and my shoes were cleaned. Absolutely.
Americans, it has made me even more determined than ever to restore our unique country through a great repeal act when Labour falls at the next election. I don't particularly care if we're liked by the rest of the world. I care if we're respected, because right now, Britain is a joke, and it has been for some time. I want the British government to put the British people at the top of the agenda. Yeah! We should make no apologies for that. Learn from Trump. Let's be unapologetically patriotic. Slash tax across the board. Enforce the border. Deport those with no right to be here. Accept biological reality. Fight back against wokery. Bulldoze nonsensical foreign aid. Eradicate DEI. Deliver sensible infrastructure. Carpet bomb public sector waste. Brutally crack down on crime. And plenty more. Let's make Great Britain great again. Thank you.